A lot of people think moving to Japan is only for the rich people, and honestly, I understand why. When people look at Japan online, they usually see expensive apartments, expensive schools, and a polished version of life that makes Japan look completely out of reach. But that is not the full picture. Now, I am not saying moving to Japan is easy, and I'm not saying Japan is cheap. What I am saying is that there are real, legal, structured routes people use to come here. So, in this video, I want to break down 5 practical ways to move to Japan without being rich. The first practical route is the work visa route. This is one of the clearest options because you are not just moving blindly and hoping things work out. You're moving because an employer has hired you for a real job. Japan officially has work-related visa categories, and the most common for foreigners are the instructor visa and engineer or specialist in humanities or international services visa. What makes this route practical is that it works best for people who already have something to offer. Maybe you have a degree, or maybe you have a teaching experience, or maybe you work in IT or another professional field. And financially, this route can make sense because once you start working, you also start earning. So if your qualifications already match a real job, this is one of the strongest routes to look into. The second route is the language school route, and I want to be very honest here. Language school is not the same thing as a cheap shortcut. You still need tuition, and you will still need living expenses. And if you come with no plan, this can really be very expensive. So, you might be asking yourself, why is this still practical for some people? The answer is that not everybody is ready for a direct work visa. Some people still need time to improve their Japanese, and some people also need time to understand life in Japan better before making a bigger move. So this route can work well as a stepping stone, but only if it's tied to a real long-term plan. The third route is the specified skilled worker route. This is a very important one because it shows that moving to Japan is not only for wealthy students or highly paid office professionals. Japan's official information says that this route is for people who are ready to work in certain industries in Japan. So the basic requirements are you should be over 18, in good health, and you should have the skills and Japanese ability needed for the job. Now, what makes this route practical is that it is skills based. It can suit people who do not want to go back into full-time school but want a work-based path. Skills are broad, including caregiving, accommodation, agriculture, food, service, manufacturing, railway, forestry, and more. So for the right person, this can be one of the most grounded and realistic routes. The fourth route is the working holiday. This one can be very practical, but it is not available to everybody. It depends on your nationality. Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the program is based on agreements with partner countries. And as of February 1st, 2026, Japan had working holiday arrangements with 31 countries. So before applying for this visa, please check if your country is eligible. What makes this route attractive is because it's very flexible. It can really be great for young people who want to experience life in Japan before deciding on a long term. This is an excellent option for some people. So again, please check if your country qualifies or if your country is eligible before you start applying. The fifth route is the scholarship supported study. Now, I need to say something here. This is not a separate visa type by itself, but financially it matters a lot because many people assume that if they want to study in Japan, they must pay for everything alone. But that is not always true. JASO lists scholarship support for international students, including the Japanese government max scholarships. Also, one thing to note is, and this is very interesting, this scholarship applies to students even in privately financed institutions, Japanese institutions, Japanese language schools, students who are really in need of financial help. So that is one of the most interesting thing about this scholarship. So please do not look down upon it. Just try your best, check the list and see where you can fit in and apply. Please understand that these are not the only legal ways people come to Japan. Japan has other long-term categories, but for most ordinary people asking how to move to Japan without being rich, the 5 discussed routes are the most practical place to start. So overall, yes, Japan can be expensive, but no, moving to Japan is not only for the rich people. Now, if you'd like me to go deeper into each of the points I mentioned in this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.